this is Tina from Shabby Dabby Doo Dah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our mask making sessions. We are up to week number 160, would you believe? So for anyone who doesn't watch my channel, we are doing reruns. So we are rerunning kind of the other weeks. So we are rerunning week number 60, meaning it's week number 160. So what we are making this week, and we're going to have to do a two-parter because that's what we did it, you know, or how we did it last time. And I suspect that I'm no quicker than I was last time. We are going to make faux collaged envelope flappy type pockets. So what I have brought along, and this is a great scrap buster. So if you've got scraps and things, this is going to be perfect for that. So what you're going to need is, this is part one. Okay, so we're going to hopefully have part two coming tomorrow. What you're going to need is some book pages as your base of your collage masterboards. Then you're going to need some scraps. Now I've got just a whole big bunch of scraps here. Obviously, you know, bring along whatever you've got. Now, if you haven't got a big bunch of scraps, whoops, if you haven't got a big bunch of scraps, you know, just bring in sort of, you know, old magazine pages, texty pages, book pages, things like that. Anything that you can accumulate scraps from. But I mean, obviously I'm quite fortunate because I do have quite a bit of scraps anyway. So I'm just going to take these out so that I don't have this blocking the light on my desk, because otherwise if I put it there, it will block the light out, unfortunately. So I'm just going to have that to the side. You're then going to need obviously some glue, and I like to use a glue spreader. When I say a glue spreader, I just use, you know, like a hotel card or, you know, an old gift card, something like that, just to spread your collage pieces around. Now that's probably all that we're going to have time for doing today. We're just going to make the bases. So you may need some scissors, depending on if you like the torn edges. Personally, I quite like torn edges in my collage pieces, but if you prefer to have kind of neatly, you know, snipped edges, then you may prefer to use scissors. And yeah, I'm just going to be using wet glue, which I use the Anita's Tacky glue, which is a sort of PVA based glue. And then you might need, you know, a wipe or something like that to kind of wipe any excess glue. And I think that's pretty much it really for today's. So we can just relax straight away and get into it. Obviously, this doesn't really require a kind of tutorial elements because, you know, we're just doing collage. So, you know, we can just pretty much relax straight away and get straight into it. So I'm just going to be literally collaging my masterboard bases. So I'm just going to take a few book pages. Now I have to say, last time I only managed 3, so I'm probably being way over ambitious here because I've torn off 6. I mean, hello, doubt I've improved that much. So yeah, I might have even got worse. So I'm just going to get collaging down. So yeah, straight away just going to get collaging on a bunch of pieces onto my book page. Now the reason I'm using book page rather than a bigger sort of sheet of paper for this really is because the book page is just perfect size for the types of pieces that we're making. So we're making kind of faux envelopes, and the book pages just happen to be a good size for that type of thing. I couldn't tell you, I'm afraid, what actual size that they are. Oops, I've got some glue on there. I couldn't tell you, I'm afraid, what actual size that these book pages are. Let me just put them down on my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just about 5.5 by 2, 4, 6, about 7.5. So yeah, I mean, they're what I would call pretty much standard sort of size book pages. So, you know, they don't have to be vintage pages or anything because, you know, effectively you're just going to be covering them up with your collage sheets. So just anything that you've got would be absolutely fine for doing this. Anything at all. And like I say, I mean, I'm using scraps. My scraps happen to be, you know, digital papers. Again, that's just because that's what I've got most of these days. But, you know, you don't have to use, you know, digital papers. Use whatever you've got access to. So you know, anything is fine for this project. So okay, so like I say, not really going to have to be talking you through this or anything, just going to be collaging up. So yeah, we can just relax straight away this week and have a nice time right from the off, because normally obviously I do a bit of a sort of tutorial element for the first kind of 15 minutes or so, and then we then we relax and have a nice time. But to be honest, today we can just get straight into just relaxing right from the off. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope your week has started out well for everybody, and you know, that you've all had a good weekend and a good, you know, good week since last week's mass making, if you've joined me for that. So it's very, very chilly here, I have to say. I think, yeah, today's the 3rd of October, and the weather's already very, very chilly. They had forecast that it, you know, it was going to be cold, and yeah, it has indeed got very chilly very quickly. So I hope that doesn't mean that we're going to be in for a horrible cold winter. I mean, sometimes you can't tell, you know, sometimes it can be chilly and then kind of cheer back up, can't it? But yeah, definitely it's feeling pretty chilly at the moment. So, and it's only just October, so I'm obviously trying to put off putting the heating on, you know, because obviously the crazy prices of the bills now. But I don't know how much longer I'll actually kind of hold out for that, because it is very, very cold. I mean, I've had to have the heating on once or twice for a couple of hours. Because our house is an old house, it just gets very, very cold very quickly. So, you know, as soon as the temperature drops below, I don't know, 18, I think it is really outside, it straight away is quite chilly inside the house. So unfortunately, you know, it's hard to just ignore it, much as I have been trying. You know, it comes to the point where it's kind of like, oh my goodness, I can't ignore this anymore. It's actually freezing in here. But yeah, I'm sure I'm not alone. I mean, to be honest, when I say it's freezing, I mean, I've got a very, very wimpy kind of version of what freezing is. I mean, to be honest, compared to, I'm sure, lots of people out there, it's probably not really even that cold. But yeah, I just, I really feel the cold. So for me, it does feel freezing. But yeah, for other people, it might not really seem that cold at all. Might just be completely exaggerating. But it seems like it's got cold very quickly this year. You know, way quicker than other years. I mean, because sometimes we get like an Indian summer, or quite often I think we get an Indian summer. You know, the kids go back to school and then we have kind of a flurry of nice weather. Well, that's definitely not happened this year. It's gone straight into, you know, pretty chilly. So, yeah, I don't think I'm imagining that. Definitely. Oops. There we go. I have not been feeling too well this week. When I say this week, obviously that was really last week. But yeah, I think I've actually had COVID, it's got to be said. Because it didn't really occur to me that I had COVID. But my mum and dad have had COVID, which, yeah, I'm now kind of like, oh, well, if they've had it, I probably have had it. So, yeah, I think that's probably what I actually have had. So I've not been feeling too brilliant. And I was very, very tearful last week, which, you know, that's not really like me. Yeah, I'm normally, you know, I'm normally okay. But, yeah, I was kind of just very tearful all week. So, yeah, hopefully it was that I've had COVID, and hopefully I will just cheer up soon and be feeling a bit more my old self. But yeah, it's kind of lingering on now. I mean, I just thought it was a cold until my mum and dad obviously said that they'd had it. And I thought, oh, that's obviously what I've had, because that would explain why I've been feeling so rubbish. I mean, I have to say, I didn't really lose my sense of taste and smell. I don't know whether that's still really a thing. You know, and I mean, I have felt fine. It's not been a big drama, really. I mean, you know, no, I haven't felt very well, but, you know, I mean, I have been fine. I haven't felt anything kind of too drastic or, you know, too serious. But yeah, just been, you know, definitely not feeling very well. You know, pretty tired and out of breath, and, you know, like I say, very, very tearful, which that's just not really kind of, you know, very like me. So yeah, I'm hoping it's on its way out now, because let's face it, nobody wants to be feeling that, do they? But yeah, I've left now with just a bit of a cold and just, you know, just this breathlessness really. So definitely feeling breathless. And just tired, you know, just feeling very exhausted and, you know, that kind of thing. But sometimes I think you just get a bit like that when you're a bit run down, don't you? And, you know, so it could just be that, really. It might not be COVID at all. You know, it could just be that I'm feeling a little bit run down. I don't know. But, yeah, no drama. Nothing kind of too awful. But just, yeah, not been feeling too brilliant. So, oh, and I'm sure that you will all join me in sending lovely well wishes over to Edith over at Scrapbooking with me. The lovely Edith, and she obviously has, you know, lost her husband, and yeah, I mean, she's put up, I think yesterday, a video telling the story of kind of how she lost him, and oh, very, very sad. I was watching it literally just before filming this today. Yeah, very, very sad story. So yeah, if you haven't kind of been over there already, you know, I'm sure probably everybody would want to send their lovely well wishes to her. So yeah, her and her family, and you know, it's awful obviously to lose somebody that you love, and they'd been married for a very long time obviously, and yeah, just horrible. So yeah, very sad. And I'm sure, you know, most of you have probably watched her video already, and I'm sure sent your wishes and things already. But yeah, I just thought I would mention it for anyone who hadn't heard the news or, you know, seen her post. I'm not sure that really went too brilliantly with that, did it? Okay. I thought I'd be really daring and mix these colours up, but I have to say I'm now kind of regretting it, thinking, oh gosh, I think now looks pretty horrible on here. You know, sometimes when you think, oh, I'm just going to be really, really daring, and then actually you kind of think, oh, there's a reason why I'm not normally so daring. It actually doesn't really go. It just then looks horrible. Yeah, I'm having that sort of dilemma at the moment going on with this. But, I mean, again, you know, hopefully once we've kind of decorated all of this and things, it will look fine. I just wanted to do some more interesting things and kind of mix stuff up a little bit more and be a bit braver with my collage than I am normally, because I'm normally very, very boring with collage and don't particularly mix things up at all. So I thought, oh, let's be daring, let's be out there. And now, of course, I've done it, and I think, oh no, there's a reason why I don't normally do that, and this would be the reason. Well, I don't mind that actually. Yeah, perhaps I'll just have it like that. Okie dokie. Yeah, so I hope that everybody's week has started out well. If you watch my channel, you'll know I normally film these videos, the mass making videos, on a Monday, ready for them to go up on the Tuesday. So obviously for me, my week has just started. Yeah, so I hope that everybody's week has started out well. Actually, I'm going to move that up a little bit like that. This looks horrible, doesn't it? This pattern that I've done here. I don't know what I was thinking. Right, let me just have a bit of my tea. Yeah, maybe I need some tea to, you know, get something looking a bit better on here. I don't know. Don't mind the blue, weirdly enough, on there. I know I've not got enough blue on there. So I have a bit there. Yeah, I mean, although this looks terrible, obviously when we come to actually use this, a lot of this will be covered up anyway, so it probably won't look quite so hideous as it's looking right now. So, and you know, I was trying to be ambitious, wasn't I, and mix it up, so there's no point now not liking it, is there? You know, because my goal was to try and mix it up, so there's no point now moaning, thinking, oh gosh, why don't I like that? I don't like it because I've tried to be doing something different. Okie dokie. My son, my oldest son, he has been away at the weekend, so he went to Portugal. So yeah, he went to Lisbon. He went with a friend who he'd actually met when we went on our cruise. So how nice is that, that they've actually developed enough of a friendship to have gone away, you know, for a weekend. So yeah, really, really nice. However, I heard from him this morning. You know, I got up and it was about 6:30, I think it was. And he FaceTimed me to say that they had missed their flight home. So obviously they were supposed to be on the plane, you know, so when I saw it was him, obviously I thought, oh my gosh, I hope everything's okay. So I answered and I said, oh my gosh, you know, is everything okay? And he said, well, yes and no. He said, we've missed our flight. He said, we'd set the alarm and we slept through it. He said, what should I do now? So I said, well, just, you know, go online, see if you can find another flight at all. You know, get your Uber or whatever, you know, to go to the airport. And obviously on the way, you know, keep looking to see if you can find a flight, you know, online. Sorry, I just had to finish my tea there. See if you can find a flight online, you know, and then obviously when you get to the airport, you know, get into the queue and ask the airline who you were flying with, do they have any more flights? How much are their flights, you know? But whilst you're in the queue kind of thing, just carry on looking online to see if there's any others, you know, whilst you're kind of queuing. Anyway, he then messaged to say that they had got the next flight that was going to be coming in with the original airline. So, yeah, they were going to be flying at 9:30. So, I mean, he must be on the plane now. Yeah, so, I mean, hopefully that's all okay. But I did sort of chuckle. I thought, oh, gosh, you know. To be young like that to the point where you're just going to miss your flight. I mean, but yeah, I'm sure it probably felt like a big panic to them and they probably thought, oh my goodness, what do we do now? You know, we've missed our flight. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like it wasn't really a big deal. They were able to just, you know, get on sort of the next available flight, which was good, wasn't it? And actually, it wasn't even too expensive. I think he said it was €100 for the, you know, the flight that they managed to book on. So, you know, I'm not saying that's an expense that they wanted, but having said that, it was completely their own fault. And, yeah, I mean, €100, it's not the end of the world, is it? I mean, I'm sure when we were younger, you know, it would have been a lot more expensive than that if you'd have missed your flight. You know, I feel like lots of things have got actually cheaper, you know, as time's gone by. You know, I mean, the fact that there's all these kind of budgety airlines and things, you know, you can obviously book, you know, book pretty good deals and things now, can't you? And, you know, just hop on the next flight for €100 sounded pretty good. I feel like when, you know, when we were young, it would have been a lot more expensive than that. But I might be wrong. I don't know. I think kind of the competition or the access and availability to flights and things has, you know, brought the cost down, because obviously all the airlines can all obviously be accessed very kind of, you know, readily now, where kind of when we were younger, that wasn't necessarily the case. And so, of course, you know, you wouldn't have been able to just kind of go on and find another airline. You'd have been kind of almost stuck with, oh gosh, you know, I've missed my flight. Well, now I'm sort of tied into that airline. I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. But anyway, the good news is they managed to get another flight. So hopefully, you know, they'll be landing quite soon. So yeah. And then obviously he's, you know, got to drive back home. So, you know, I just sort of said drive safely and things when you're coming home, because you know, I don't want him panicking thinking, oh gosh, you know, I'm really late home now, because I mean obviously he's not at work today, so he doesn't need to rush to get home or anything. So yeah, I hope they had a nice time overall. I think they probably did. I think the weather was quite nice. You know, he obviously FaceTimed me while he was away, and you know, it looked like the weather was lovely and things, so I'm sure they've had a good time. So yeah, I had a nice weekend with my middle son. So yeah, we'd had a bit of a traumatic week last week, really. You know, just a bit of fallout from kind of the divorce and things that have been going on. And yeah, just, it was a bit miserable really in the house for most of the week. Probably didn't help because I wasn't feeling very well, to be honest. Because like I said, I just felt very tearful, and I'm not generally a kind of tearful type person. So, you know, I think it was just a combination of, you know, the stuff that's been going on in the house and, you know, not feeling well. I just didn't really feel that I was kind of coping very well with everything. But, yeah. So it was quite nice at the weekend because I had took my daughter away in the end for a night last week to a hotel just down the road to where we live, really, because I just felt like we needed a bit of breathing space. You know, everybody needed a bit of time out, and I felt like she needed a bit of, you know, just mum and daughter time, just me and her. So, yeah. And I think it did us good, you know, to do that, and to actually all of us have a bit of, you know, space from one another. And then she then had her weekend with her dad this weekend. So she, yeah, we got back on Friday, and then she went obviously with her dad. And then it was just my middle son and I for the whole weekend, which actually was really nice because, you know, it's not very often actually that we just get some sort of one-on-one time. So that was quite nice to just spend a bit of time with him, really. And yeah, we had a really, really nice weekend. So just chilled out quite a lot. Like I say, it had turned very cold, and because I wasn't really feeling too brilliant, we didn't kind of do too much. But we went to the cinema on Saturday during the afternoon, which is nice. It's nice to go to the cinema, I think, on an afternoon. And yeah, we watched, oh gosh, what was it called? We watched a film called Smile. It was like a horror film. So, you know, I realise horrors are not everybody's cup of tea, but I quite like a horror film, and he also quite likes a horror film. So, yeah, we quite enjoyed it. It was quite good. It was quite good, and then, you know, like all these horror films, it then suddenly just went down this silly kind of route, I suppose. Like they always do, you know, they're quite scary, and then they just suddenly get really, really stupid, and it's kind of like, oh, well, you've lost now the credibility of the scary element. It's now just turned really silly. So yeah, it did kind of deteriorate, but it was okay. So yeah, and it was just quite nice to go. So yeah, we had quite a nice time doing that. And on Friday night, I know I talked last week about I'd started watching the Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, box set thing on Netflix. So I hadn't watched any more of that because of all what was going on in our house last week. So yeah, I hadn't watched any of it. And then on Friday night, so it was just my, you know, my middle son night, I said to him, well, he was supposed to be going to a party, and then the party was cancelled. So, you know, I was obviously really pleased because I thought, oh, good, you know, now it's, you know, we can have a bit of time together. So I said to him, well, shall we get a Chinese takeaway and, you know, just chill out, and we could watch a bit of that Jeffrey Dahmer one. So that's what we did. And yeah, we started watching, well, he started watching it. I had obviously watched some of it already. So yeah, picked that back up and started watching that with him. And then Saturday, like I say, we went to the cinema, which was quite nice. And then yesterday, well, the weather was actually surprisingly nice yesterday. It was kind of like a little bonus day of just, yeah, really sunny. And we'd wrapped up, obviously, expecting it to be freezing, like it had been on Saturday. And then it was surprisingly warm. So we just popped into town because I just had to pick up a couple of things that I needed, you know, kind of toiletry type items. And then we just went for a walk. Like, there's a canal and things, so we just went for a walk down there. We had a Costa and we were able to sit outside in the Costa and things, which was really nice because it was actually really, really warm. So yeah, we kind of sat outside on the Costa. You know, and yeah, it was lovely, like really, really lovely. And then last night we watched a bit more of the Dharma box set. So I think we're up to episode... I feel like we're flying through, actually. We must be up to episode 5, I think. So yeah, we're getting through it quite quickly now. And I know I talked about it last week, but yeah, I mean, the guy who plays him, he's really very chilling. So yeah, it's quite good. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. Have you watched it? Are you watching it? Are you planning to watch it? Or maybe it's not your type of thing at all and, you know, you really would not want to watch it. But yeah, lots of people are talking about it. So it's obviously one of the popular things at the moment to be watching. Let's just tore that big page. One of the popular things at the moment to be watching. So yeah, we're quite enjoying it. Oh, and that was the other thing. So when I was away at the hotel, you know, with my daughter, she fell asleep by about 8:30. And so I just watched on Netflix on my tablet. I watched that Marilyn Monroe one that Netflix have done. It's called Blonde. It's got very mixed reviews because I think it's used a lot of kind of creative license, and so I think the criticism is there's not really very much accuracy going on there. Seems to be the general thoughts, really. So anyway, but I watched that, and yeah, I mean, how much based on truth it is, I have no idea. If it is, there was certainly a lot of things that I thought, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But the thing that I would say about it is the actress. Now, I can't remember what her name is, but she's the girl who played the part in that film Knives Out. She played the part of the carer. Wish I could think of her name. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I wish I could think of her name. But anyway, she played the part of Marilyn Monroe. And it was such a weird choice because obviously she didn't really look like her, or, you know, generally doesn't really look like her. But she played the part brilliantly. Her voice was very, very, you know, Marilyn-esque. And yeah, she played the part really, really well, I think. And yeah, was really good. Kind of had that on-screen vulnerability that Marilyn Monroe really did have. So, you know, how much accuracy there is in the story, like I say, I have no idea. From what I can make out on reading reviews and things, I think they really did use a lot of creative license with it. But it's worth watching just from her performance because she actually was fantastic in it. So yeah, if you're looking for something to watch, it was kind of good from that point of view. Now I have to just put a warning out there. It really was quite explicit in a lot of places. There was a lot of nudity, and yeah, I mean, obviously I was watching it on my own on my tablet, so it was absolutely fine, but definitely not one to watch with, you know, well, I was going to say children, but even, you know, it's not kind of family viewing, if you see what I mean. So even if your children are older, you know, you maybe would feel perhaps uncomfortable watching it with children or, you know, anyone really, because, yeah, it was quite, yeah, just just quite graphic in a lot of places, you know, which was, yeah, a little bit kind of uncomfortable, I guess, if you were watching it with other people. Like I say, I was watching it on my own, so it was absolutely fine. But yeah, but good from you know, the point of view of watching it, just from the actress who played the part, because she was absolutely brilliant. You know, she played the part just brilliantly. She just really did capture, you know, that kind of whole, yeah, Marilyn Monroe vulnerability kind of thing. And like I say, I mean, when I started watching it, I thought, oh, she's a strange choice, you know, for an actress to have picked, because, I mean, I don't know what hair colour she actually has got naturally, but in the stuff that I had seen her in previously, I think she had dark hair. So it was kind of like an off-the-wall choice anyway, you know, just from a hair colour point of view. But yeah, she actually played the part fantastically. So, yeah, quite good from that point of view. I mean, Marilyn Monroe, she just had that magic, didn't she? And, yeah, quite a few disturbing scenes in that film, really. So, yeah. But, I mean, I guess, you know, that's the life that she did have, you know. So, I think that was obviously what they were, you know, what they were portraying was, you know, she didn't have a very nice life, did she? When she was certainly, you know, growing up. I mean, she didn't have a very nice childhood or anything like that. So, yeah, that was all quite disturbing and quite upsetting. But yeah, there was a lot of nudity, I have to say, and a lot of graphic stuff going on in it. So, yeah, definitely not one for the, yeah, not one for family viewing or just anyone viewing. If you're, you know, with somebody who perhaps you don't feel 100% comfortable with, it wouldn't really be the thing to watch. Because it was quite, you know, quite in your face at times. So, yes, I'd watch with caution, you know, just pick who you're going to view that with a bit carefully, I think. So, okie dokie. There we go. Oh, what else did we watch? We watched something else, I think, at the cinema the other day. No, what was that? Oh, trying to think what it was. I feel like we did watch something that was quite good, and now it's totally gone. Can't think what it was at all. Oh, what did we watch? Oh, don't you hate it when you just can't remember something? Oh, this totally gone. I've got literally a sort of complete blank now as to what it was that we watched. But there's also this film called Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, which looks like a really fun, nice, feel-good film. So, yeah, that's out this week. So, hopefully going to go and watch that at some point. So, yeah, looking forward to that one. Oh, I wish I could think what the other film was that we watched. Oh, it's completely gone. I hope it comes back to me in a minute before the end of the video. Don't you just hate it when that happens and you just can't think for the life of you of the name of something? Oh, I wish I could think. Oh, yes. Now, finally remembered. It was called Don't Worry, Darling. So I think I might have actually talked about this last week, that we were looking forward to seeing it. And yeah, that was what we watched on Wednesday. So we often go to the cinema on a Wednesday, and yeah, we went on Wednesday and watched that. That was a good one. So yes, that was good. Again, sort of compelling viewing. Yeah, it was good. And then it just suddenly ended and we were like, oh no, why has it ended there? Because you could have easily watched a whole lot more of it. You know, they could have done more with it. And to be honest, you know, it was one of those films that it, you know, far from dragging on, it had flown by, so could have happily watched another sort of hour of the film, really. So yeah, we really enjoyed that. And oh my goodness, it was set, you know, like sort of 50s. So all the beautiful clothes and things like that that they were wearing. The main character, again, I can't remember what her name was. I don't feel like she was an actress who I knew. She just looked gorgeous for the whole film. She had the most beautiful, beautiful clothes. Yeah, all those gorgeous kind of 1950s style dresses, and oh, she just looked lovely. Yeah, really, really lovely. So yeah, we really enjoyed that. So that one was definitely a good film. It was kind of like a kind of a thriller, I suppose, really is the genre really that it would be described as. Yeah, kind of a thriller. Well, you know, like the Stepford Wives, it was that sort of setting, a bit like the Stepford Wives setting. Yeah. Anyway, very, very good. If you get the chance to go and watch it, I would recommend that. It was a good film and we did really enjoy it. So I think it was 2 hours long, but like I say, we could have happily sat and watched another hour of it. You know, and we both said that. We were both like, oh, you know, you didn't really feel cheated. You know, sometimes when they end a film and you think, what? They've just had a cop-out ending rather than actually, you know, properly finish the film. You didn't come out feeling that way, you know, but definitely could have happily watched another, you know, yeah, good hour really of it. So yeah, I definitely recommend that one. We did really enjoy it, so it was very, very good. Okie dokie. And it had that handsome man who was in Star Trek. I can't remember what his name is either. I'm so sorry. My mind and brain is just completely fried today, obviously. I'm going to just blame not really feeling 100% on why I'm just completely useless source of information. Yeah, I can't think what his name is, but you definitely recognise him. And yeah, if you Google the cast of Don't Worry Darling, you will probably recognise him straight away. Like I say, he was in Star Trek, but he's got quite a handsome kind of distinctive looking face. So yeah. And, you know, even if he didn't really look that fantastic in Star Trek, obviously in their, you know, Trekkie outfits, which, you know, let's face it, probably not the best look. In this particular film, he looked very, very, very handsome. You know, because he was obviously, you know, he was made to look handsome, obviously, in this particular film. He was, you know, wearing, you know, nice smart suits and things like that. So, yeah, was looking pretty handsome. But yeah, so that's a real, you know, recommendation, I would say, that film. It was very good. Okay, okay. I glued that one down. Yep, I'm just going to glue that down like that. Again, you know, it doesn't really matter if this looks very shoddy, because obviously once we, you know, use this, a lot of this will really be covered up anyway. So we're just kind of making a bit of a base, really. I don't think it's kind of too, you know, too much of a big deal, really, if it looks a bit shoddy. It will look okay once it's actually finished. Which, like I say, you know, the finished bit will be probably tomorrow. We will come back and finish these off. So, just because, yeah, I don't think there's going to be time to obviously do it. Well, there won't be time, obviously, to do it today. I mean, I guess what we could have done was made less. But but I thought, oh well, we did it in 2 last year, so yeah, we'll just do it in two this year. Okie dokie. Okay. So yeah, let me know below, you know, have you seen anything good at the cinema lately? What would your recommendations be? What type of films do you like? Okay. I think I'll have this bit here. Honestly, I'm such a bodger when it comes to collage. I do find myself bodging it quite a lot. But, you know, I mean, having said that, collage is very, you know, very forgiving, isn't it? You can kind of bodge it. I think it's fine. Fine to bodge the collage. Okie dokie. There we go. Okay. Just see if I can just fill in this little space here. Okay. Oops. Right. There we go. Right, now let me just check what the time is because I actually can't see the clock here. Oh, I still can't see it. I'm so sorry having to move this. I think we're at 42 minutes. So yeah, I'm doing quite well actually. Can do another one. Okay, so this one might be my last one. Okie dokie. Okay. Oh, it seems really quiet outside today. You know, when you just get those days where it's kind of like, oh, it seems really quiet. It's one of those. Which is lovely, you know. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Oh gosh, look at what I'm doing to my book page. What a terrible mess I've made. Right. Okay. Oops. Just put that there. Now, shall I have some book page on this? I've just got some book page here. So yeah, perhaps we'll actually have some book page. I mean, the irony, we're gluing book page onto book page here. I don't know whether that's just a weird thing to do or whether that's just me thinking it's weird. I don't know. Feels a bit weird. Or it maybe just sounds a bit weird when I say it, that we're going to put book page onto the book page, but right, going to have that there. Let's just use this bit here. Fill in over there. Because hopefully what we're going to end up with is kind of like a couple of sections. You know, these will just be sort of cut in half more or less. So, you know, what we're actually going to be using them for, they'll be just more or less cut in half. So, you know, I guess sometimes it's worth knowing what the ultimate shape will be when you're gluing your pieces on, so that you can just kind of keep that in mind as to how you want your pieces to be shaped. Okie dokie. There we go. Right, I just have to blow my nose. I'm so sorry about this. The thing is, I could just keep stopping the video, but the problem is, it really does then, you know, take quite a long time to actually have to edit the video. So if I can possibly manage to do it without, you know, without stopping, then that's definitely kind of much better from an upload point of view. So yeah, if I can kind of manage to do it without having to stop, then that's just makes it much easier later. So, well, that's pretty, isn't it? So yeah, let's put that piece down. So brilliant scrap buster, this one. Really, really good for using all your scraps. And really quite fun to do. And to be honest, I mean, you could do these little bits in front of the TV, you know, at night, which, again, how brilliant to just do some, you know, TV crafting. You know, who doesn't like a bit of TV crafting after all? Okay. Just can't believe we're actually the 3rd of October already. I mean, my goodness, where has this year gone? It's just, the time just flies by. It's so crazy. I know I say things like this all the time, but honestly, just where does the time go? Just flies and flies and flies and flies. It's absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy. Oops. It's all a bit soggy now. Oh, that's quite nice there. But no, I will put it there. So, yeah, let's just see. I mean, to be honest, it will be Christmas, won't it, soon? And yeah, of course, we'll have to then do the Christmas craft. So, oh, I haven't even started thinking about what I'm going to do for a Christmas kit yet this year. And I haven't started working on my Halloween project yet. So definitely, yeah, that's something that I need to start doing this week, really. Obviously, I've got the Halloween kit, you know, that's all in my shop. The horror Halloween kit, which I've obviously, you know, briefly shown on the YouTube Shorts video that I did. But yeah, I haven't actually played with it at all. I haven't even printed it. I mean, I've printed some of it, obviously, but, you know, and obviously I printed it when I was creating it, but I haven't printed as in, you know, the finished thing. So yeah, need to get on and do that, to be honest. But yeah, just can't believe that we're actually at that time already. It's like, wow, where has that time gone? You know, just sometimes the time just like whizzes and whizzes and whizzes, doesn't it? So yeah, just can't believe we're even thinking about being Christmas yet. I mean, that's just like crazy, absolutely crazy. Okie dokie. Oops. Okay. We had roadworks outside the house, and finally they've gone, which I'm really pleased that they've gone, because they were making it a bit of a, you know, pain to get in and out of the house. So yeah, I'm pleased that they have gone now. Okay. And I think I did mention this last week, but I'm trying to work on some kits at the moment, some physical kits that I'm going to be putting in my shop as like Christmas kits, like Christmas physical kind of kits, like treats to yourself, really, or well, not necessarily to yourself, from someone or for yourself. They're going to be quite comprehensive kits. They're going to have lots and lots of bits in them, and hopefully a really good variety of different things. So I have been busy working on those. Right, just checking the time now. Busy working on those, and yeah, hopefully kind of beginning to get somewhere with them. So yeah, I should be keeping you posted as to when they're going to be listed. So there aren't going to be very many of them because, you know, they're taking quite a lot of things to put them together. But I think there's going to be 9. So yeah, hopefully they're going to be really super fun and, you know, just full of great, wonderful things. So, you know, just something that you would just really love to receive or love to, you know, like I say, treat yourself to. And, you know, just something really fun to keep you sort of entertained and busy in between like Christmas and New Year, and, you know, I'm sure going forward as well. So, yeah, hopefully just something really nice. So I'm having quite a lot of fun putting them together. They're all over my living room at the moment, and they have been now for a couple of weeks. So, yeah. But I'm still waiting for a few things to arrive through the post that I've ordered to put into the kits. So yeah, there'll be a little while yet, but I will keep you posted. So these are the masterboards that I have done. They're looking pretty rubbish at the moment, and I fully take that on board. To be honest, they will look completely transformed by the time I just cut them down. I always say this, but that just takes them from looking like a little scrap, you know, of rubbish to something much better, hopefully. So yeah, hope that you've had fun. I hope you've managed to use up a whole bunch of your scraps, and hopefully you will join me tomorrow when we will finish these off and make the faux envelope pockets with these. So thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.